Have you ever read about fundamentalist pastors on YouTube or in churches that preach about how single women over the age of 25 are pathetic? Cat-rearing women who grow up to be alone, unhappy, and depressed. This is a stereotype, and this is not just in religion. This is like everywhere, even in popular culture, secularism, Hollywood. Single women are painted and pictured as lonely women. And it's not okay. It's dehumanizing to people who actually enjoy the life they have. And I've noticed since I've come out of Christianity, fundamentalism, and church, that anything that doesn't benefit the patriarchy, they villainize. And if a woman chooses to be by herself, thriving and blooming and pursuing whatever interests and career she wants, there probably won't be anybody in a conservative church that says anything positive about it, especially if you're a white fundamentalist pastor. And this is one of the most misogynistic, sexist stereotypes. The idea that a single woman loves cats, are sad or lonely. This has historical roots based on widely considered harmful, not harmless, stereotypes. These comments are often projections of the speaker's own insecurities or a tactic to shame women into conforming to traditional societal norms of marriage and motherhood. These things are trying to pressure women into benefiting the patriarchy. The crazy cat lady trope is rooted in the historical views that devalue women who do not adhere to gender roles. It's used as an insult to imply that a woman is a failure for being unmarried or child-free by a specific age. This is used to shame and control. The myth is often used to pressure women into relationships and marriage, suggesting that choosing independence will lead to a lonely, unfulfilled life. Stereotyping. These comments rely on false assumptions that cats are less affectionate than dogs, which is then used to suggest that women who use them or own them are frigid and incapable of love. There's a lot of projection in these harmful stereotypes. Many argue that the fear of dying alone with cats is a projection of men's own fears of loneliness, as women often maintain stronger social support network. And what I'm going to say next is not a judgment toward married people or single people. But I prefer to die by myself with a cat than die next to a man. Because every 10 minutes in America, your man has a very high chance in unaliving you. I've never known a cat to kill their owner, but I've known millions of men who kill their partners. If you've ever heard the term choose the bear, I choose the cat over a man any day. And I'm not a pet person. I've tried 3 times in my life to have a pet. Pets just aren't for me. But they bring a lot of joy, happiness, and companionship to people. So they are a worthwhile choice to have in your life. Some people like kids. Some like pets. Other people like companions of the human variety. There isn't a wrong choice. As long as you can afford to keep them, feed them, and give them the best health care possible, and as long as it's not harming you, where you have a horrible allergic reaction to it, I don't see anything wrong with having a pet. Just be a good pet owner. And in my opinion, dogs and cats will provide you more love and consistent acceptance than a partner could ever hope to dream to be like. I mean, dogs and cats will stand by you when a man just can't or won't. Cats aren't 6 times more likely to abandon you when you get sick, but men do. And it's not all men, and it's not all cats. But at the end of the day, men and society cannot stand or handle the idea that there is a woman happy out there, successful, enjoying life, pursuing any passion she has. But if she's not serving a man and staying in her place, which doesn't exist, but if they want her to be in that place and have a role and she refuses, they act like she's a leper. And what's the reality for many single women who live with cats or don't live with cats? Statistics have proven they are more happy, more independent, more socially and personally fulfilled and sexually fulfilled than any heterosexual woman in a relationship. Out of all the different orientations and lifestyle that is open and known by the public, the group that has the least life satisfaction, partner satisfaction, and sexual satisfaction, the least is straight, cis, heterosexual women. Because they're forced to be in the worst role imaginable, being a man's arm candy. Now, not every heterosexual relationship is like that, but that's the expectation. And the more conservative you are, the less they're going to view you as your own independent, autonomous person with agency. And it's just projection. Because cat ladies, or single people without cats, they embrace choice and independence, personal traits. They challenge norms. And any comment that uses this hateful stereotype, they're not harmless. They're part of a bigger pattern of social pressure and judgment among women who live outside conventional expectations. They don't insult men for being single, happy, and thriving. But God forbid a woman, 45 years of age, is exploring life, has $100,000 in the bank, can vacation whenever she enjoys or wants to. She has a social life. She may not have someone in bed with her, but you never know. Sometimes people don't want long-term monogamous relationships. She might be happy with somebody for the night, or maybe she doesn't want those kind of things. And when these kind of pastors and religious leaders talk about women this way, they're basically saying that 1%, or about 82 million asexuals or aromantics who may or may not want a traditional relationship with or without sex as being broken and pathetic, you are creating an environment that is openly hostile and violent toward people who can't or won't get married and have an expected hetero relationship. And as long as our society worships marriage and just the cult and the idol of relationships, marriage, and children, we're doomed. Marriage is fine if that's what you want to do. But nobody else has to join in on your party. Let people do as they want to do. As long as they're not hurting anybody, which being single and having a pet or two is not hurting anybody. I think it's a great way to live. I read somewhere that 45% of women nowadays are not having kids. So being child-free might be the best choice you ever make. But as long as that's your passion, fine. If children are your passion, okay. But forcing and expecting and shaming people for choosing to go in the exact opposite 180 direction is just cruel. And you call yourself a Christian and shame single people, you're not a good person. You're a villain.